Hello, my name is Vivian Fan, and today I will be conducting the Harvard IAT study, which is the Implement Association test. This is my first participant, Christopher Wynn, and I'm gonna start off by asking some pre-test questions, which is have you ever taken a test like this before?
I have not.
What do you expect your results to show in this test?
I hope I'm not as biased and fair to all people. I hope to be fair.
Can I have your consent to film this video with you today?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What is your views on bias?
I think biases are formed. We all have biases, whether we know it or not. I think we form biases based off of our environment that we were raised at, and based off of our own interactions in our daily life.
Okay. What are your viewpoints on stereotypes?
My viewpoints on stereotypes, I think stereotypes are derived from our biases. Stereotypes are more on what we think of a certain group of people. Again, that's also off of our own interactions, our own experiences, as well as just our own, the environment we're raised at, hearing from other people or people that are older than us. We all have that information, and then we form our own stereotypes.
Okay. Do you have any convinced notions?
Notions? Okay. My notions, I would say, for Asian people in general, I think that almost all Asian people are pretty good at math. Pretty good with numbers. So that's my preconceived notion there.
This is my second participant, Marian Fan, and she will also be taking the Harvard IAT study today, which is the Implement Association test. My pre-test question is, have you taken a test like this before?
What is the test like?
The test measures how you think about, so there's going to be a category about based off of two races, which is white and Asian, and you are supposed to take it, and then you're supposed to determine which ones
fits with each other.
Each other,
gotcha.
And which group do you think that each of the so there will be a pictures shown, and then you should pick from each of them and see what groups they are.
Yeah, I don't think I've taken an exam like that before.
What do you expect your results to show from today?
Well, based on the exam groups, I hope that it doesn't show any, that the answers will be balanced, that it will kind of be a neutral answer and based off of what the test seems to entail.
Can I have your consent to film this video with you today?
Yes.
Okay. What is your views on bias?
I believe biases usually they come from a negative place. Usually they're based off of either assumptions or maybe discrimination, or maybe even people's experiences, or what ideologies they grew up with. But overall, I don't think that they help benefit us.
What are your viewpoints on stereotypes?
I also think stereotypes are negative. They definitely come from kind of similar to rumors, like there's never really a clear source. The sources are never really valid, in a way. So I think stereotypes are very negative and they can definitely hurt us as a society.
Okay. Do you have any pre-convinced notions about today?
Preconvinced?
Convinced notions.
Preconceived?
Conceived, sorry.
Oh yes, so preconceived notions. I mean, I guess sometimes. But I feel like the ones I have maybe not. Hopefully they're not anything that can hurt others or negative outlooks on other people. Like maybe I would assume that people born in the north are able to tolerate the cold better, but that might be about it. Hopefully it's just all benign things.
Yes. Based on the participants' background and their pre-test responses, I predict that if the participants are Asian, they will likely have results that show effectively towards Asian Americans and European Americans. The reason why is because they would have similar beliefs in what they have. This is the post interview with Christopher Wynn, my first participant. The first question is, do you feel like the test accurately reflects your attitudes?
I would say accurately reflects. I would say no. Yeah, I'll share with you more later on.
How did you feel when you were taking the test?
The first couple rounds it was pretty easy because of you kind of get in the habit of selecting answers. You kind of know where the answer choices are, and then around a couple rounds later, they kind of did a switch, and that was it got a little bit more difficult towards the end, but it wasn't. I felt during the exam it was pretty straightforward. I was pretty able to pick my answers pretty quickly in the beginning, and then later on, that's when it kind of got a little bit more challenging.
Oh, okay. Did you think that the test was hard, or do you think it was easy?
I think it was overall was easy. Like I mentioned towards the end, when they switch, the characteristics as well as race with the physical features, it caught me by surprise.
Oh, okay. Were you surprised by your results, or why not?
I would say yes. For my results, it was not completely opposite, but I was not expecting the result just because of, I would think seeing physical features such as skin color, I thought it would be quicker, but I did answer some questions wrong based off of the later rounds when they switched the answer. So I'm very surprised at my result. Am I allowed to say my results at all?
Yes.
Okay.
You can say your results.
My result was that I moderately prefer European American versus Asian American. So that was very, very surprising for me.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
This is my post interview with Marianne Fan. Do you feel like the test accurately reflects your attitudes?
I would say so for the most part, based on what my results are. It's kind of, I guess, what I expected. So what I got was that I was slightly preferable to Asian Americans, which I think would make sense since I'm also Asian American. Yeah.
Okay. How did you feel when you were taking the test?
I felt okay. I think definitely the part where they kind of switched it up made it a bit difficult. I think for the exam I had, I found myself making more mistakes when the bad was associated with Asian Americans and the good was associated with European Americans.
I see.
Yeah, so, but then when it got a little easier, I don't know when I did the second part, I don't know if it was because I got used to the test, the way it's formatted, or if it was truly because I figured that those are what I associate with Asian Americans and such. Yeah.
Okay. Did you think the test was hard or easy?
I don't think it's fairly easy. It didn't really require a lot of like brain power to like process it. Just kind of see and then you click on things, but just to have the rhythm down and to remember which side associated with which did take a little bit, I guess, of effort. But other than that, no, I don't think it was that hard.
Okay. Were you surprised by your results? Why or why not?
Nah. I don't think I was really surprised. Kind of like what I said in the beginning. It's like me being Asian American, I kind of figured that I would have a slight preference for Asian Americans. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So thank you so much for your time for today.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Yes. The first participant's results was that he had a preference for European Americans over Asian Americans. And for the second one, she had a preference for Asian Americans and versus over European Americans. This is the first participant's results, and then this is the second one. And based off of my hypothesis, it was moderately correct, but for only the second participant, for the first one, it was not correct. So I think my hypothesis was moderately correct, but not fully correct. The results were, I guess, right with my expectations because I got half of it right, and for the other participant, I didn't really get it right, but I think it was moderately correct, I would say. In my essay, I said implement bias stems from limited experiences with an understanding of people who are perceived as different or outside one's in group. To reduce implement bias, it is important to develop empathy, which helps individuals better understand and relate to others, including their students and surroundings. On the other hand, explicit biases refers to traditional forms of biases where individuals are fully aware of their attitudes and beliefs about a person or a group. And I got that information from Buddha and Grant. And as the results showed a strong preference, participants A results showed a strong preference for European Americans versus Asian Americans, which aligns with the concept of in-group biases we discussed in class. So that is it for essay number 2.